Now, today we have a special speaker. He is well known throughout the globe, and he is the director of development. He is also someone who was in this program from the very beginning. So now I would like Mamoon Al Azmi to present his talk.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. My very dear brothers, Assalamu alaikum. And I would like to request if you can, if I can see you, like Talha was doing and Noor is doing. I would like to request that, so I feel more connected to you. Thank you very much. Those who are opening. Of course, today I'm going to share something. I will screen share and talk through it. Let me see. Screen share. Okay, let me see if it comes right. Can you see? Faith and community structure. Okay,
Yes.
Okay. So faith and community structure, just because I want to talk about the 5 pillars of faith and how it relates to the whole life. You can see that it's a house, and under the house, which is invisible, is you have Tawheed, Salah, Akhirah. That's the faith. Core faith involves one Allah, the creator, the sustainer, the controller, the ultimate authority, starting and finishing authority. Then there is Risala, the prophet who was sent as teacher and model for us to follow and emulate. And then Akhirah, the consequence of our actions and accountability to Allah. So this is something inside us. So I made it as one of the pillar that is central pillar, but it's hidden. It's not visible. Then you have 4 other pillars. You have fasting, you have Salah, you have Zakah, and you have Hajj. What I also did was to look at fasting and Salah. These 2 are pillars. This is not the complete house. With just pillars, you can't live in the house. So a house has to be complete with many things. But this is the core business, the core strength of the house is built on foundation. If the foundation is weak, the pillars will collapse. So the foundation pillar is Tawheed, Risala, Akhirah. Then we do fasting and then Salah. These 2 can be done individually. That means by doing individually, we develop qualities of social connections and dealing with others and building relationships. So it is kind of from individual to group. So we learn some qualities of individuals as individuals, and then we are able to relate to others well, be friendly to others, be respectful of others, be able to talk to others and help others or receive help from them, all these things. So fasting and Salah, these are individual actions that develop us, improve us so that we can connect with others. So this is something that we need to understand. But Zakah and Hajj cannot be done alone. Zakah, there is a payer and there is a recipient. So somebody is paying and somebody is receiving. The rich paying to the poor. This is Zakah. That means at least 2 people are involved. Or shall we say 2 families are involved. And Hajj has to be done in a big gathering. So these 2 are collective pillars, collective worshipping to train us to be able to relate to each other. So our individual qualities improve through collective activity. First 2 are individual activity, improving us for collectivity. And the second 2 are collective activity pillars to improve our individual performance. So this way, that means 2 cannot be done alone and 2 can be done alone. So alone activities build us. Collective activities also build us, but as a group. And they have interconnections. So if I'm good with in the individual fasting and Salah, being sincere, and even though I can eat in secret and drink in secret but I don't do it. This builds my moral, spiritual integrity and connection with Allah. With zakat and hajj, this is more like with people, and therefore, while this is connection with Allah that helps me connect with people, that is connecting with people and Allah together. And then it helps me individually. On that, when we have these pillars, the foundation pillar and the four visible pillars, because these are visible, then you can talk about system. In a society, we have a social system, we have an economic system, and a political system. So this is the complete Islam house, where the core components are in front of us. So you can relate to all the pillars. You need doors and windows and walls and lighting and decoration, furniture. That will become the complete home. But this is where the strength lies. So without wall, the building will still stay. Without decoration, the building is still standing. So these are the powers that will hold the building together. So with those, the top, you have three systems: the economic system of Islam, the social system of Islam, and the political system of Islam will then be able to be supported. Meaning, you can't have fasting, Salah, Zakah, and Hajj weak and foundation faith weak, the Iman. So these five pillars, one invisible, four visibles, if they are not strong, they cannot take the roof. They cannot support the roof. So you can't have economic, political, and social systems unless your fasting, Salah, Zakah, Hajj are strong. And they cannot stay strong unless the foundation is strong, which is our faith. That is not visible. It is how we feel, how we think, how we do, how we choose, what we accept, what we reject, all of them. So all five are basically strength because they provide us training to be able to become good people and good Muslims and good servants and good human beings. So this is how you need to understand Islam as a complete code of life. You see, in other religions, particularly in Christianity, they only have 2 hours in the church if they want to go. Otherwise, they're free from their religious guidance. And they don't have detailed guidance. Majority of those who became Muslim in the Western countries, I read many stories, and they said Islam provides solution to every little detail, every little problem. So everywhere, how husband, wife can relate to each other, how children, parents can relate to each other, how siblings can relate to each other, how families can relate to each other, how neighbors can relate to each other, how to eat, how to go to toilet, how to do a shower, and all these guidance you don't find anywhere else. Everything is designed as a package for us to have a beautiful life, happy life, tranquil life. So if we want we need to understand where the power is coming from. Our power, our strength, our improvement, our development will depend on the 5 pillars. The 5 pillars are the faith pillar, which is the Tawheed, Salah, Akhirah, the fasting pillar, the Salah pillar, the Zakat pillar, and Hajj pillar. These are 5 pillars you know already. Then, if these pillars we can develop and we can convince people, then we can have socially, culturally strong value system where people will follow it, and economically they will be just and fair with each other rather than trying to cheat to make more money. Then the political system can come when to supervise it all. Unless we have the foundation and the pillars in continue to give us training, then we cannot improve a society or person. A person or group cannot improve. So this is what Islam is. If we connect with Allah, if we build our life on Allah and follow the method of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam as model, then our akhirah would be safe and sweet. If we ignore, as many Muslims do, then we pay the price. There is no way to come back and fix it. So we own the consequences of our choices. So this is very important for us to understand. Now I open to you for questions. This is the core message today. This is the house of Islam that we can build ourselves individually, within our family and within our community. So person, family, community, 3 levels, we need to capture this picture and see where Islam stands. Any questions? If I can ask, if you don't have any questions, I will ask the questions, and I would like to know how you have grasped it. It's not a complex picture. It's just saying how one is built on another, what is dependent. If there is no Iman, then fasting, Salah, and Zakat and Hajj will not come. If we are not doing any of these, and we are by name Muslims, then Iman does not exist. Just claiming is there, but it's like you plant a mango tree and it doesn't provide mangoes, so it's no good as a mango tree because it doesn't give mangoes. So it's the same thing. So the faith must be expressed in terms of the visible activities. And if the visible activities are good and strong, then we will be able to grow, inshallah. So if you can, if you ask me, you can ask, or I will ask you what individually to explain what this picture is telling you. Okay. No question. So I will ask Talha Bhuya to explain first what this picture tells you. And Talha Bhuya, if I can see you also, keep the camera on. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
So what I can learn is that Islam is very, like, unlike other religions, it's like built as a system, and the social, economic, and political, as we can see at the top, they're built on the system of like the 5 pillars, which is, as we know, zakat, salah, hajj, and fasting. So links to this like shape we've got here, and risala and akhirah, because the result of the actions that we do in the dunya is akhirah, is it will be Jannah, which would be the result of our actions. Also, what I can learn is that if we do all of these part of the system, it will also benefit us in the dunya, in political wise, in money wise, and in our social wise. As the Quran, it has been made in such a way, unlike other books, that helps us with every problem in our lives. Jazakallah khairan.
Very nice, very nice. Okay. So this is the house of Islam and where the strength lies, because I didn't talk about the, I mean, I didn't show the doors and windows, and I mean, that can be the complete house where it would be, the decoration would be how good manners we have. Who has scribbled on it? Okay, please don't mess with it. So let me ask Omar, what do you understand, Omar? Okay, so there is a question. Let me answer the question first. Khalid Muhammad, why does Islam have more rules and more, most religions, in good example is Christianity, they can practically eat anything. That's a good question. Can anybody try to answer it? Why Islam has so many detailed rules?
Because,
okay, Shahad Shaukat.
Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, obviously he is the most knowledgeable, and he knows what's good for us. For example, during Isa alayhi salam, as far as I know, they were allowed to drink wine and use wine in Isa alayhi salam's religion. But after that time, wine was considered haram because wine made all the humans drunk, and it made them divide their submission and their path with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, their iman and their shahada. So That's why we have such strict rules depending on what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about those things. And so we are not allowed to do them.
Very
And
good. Anybody else? Why Islam it has so many rules and Christianity has very few rules. In fact, whatever rules there are, 10 commandments, they ignore it completely. I mean, 90% of them don't follow it. Maybe some of more percentage would follow the family system and be loyal to each other and be moral in family context. But even morality, they are destroying day by day. So anybody else? Why Islam has so many rules? Actually, because Islam. Yes, who wants to say? Anas, you say. I think Anas was there. Okay.
Can I?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I think that it has so many rules because other religions, Allah knows more than everyone else. So other religions may not know what know. So He tells us what is right or wrong.
Okay, and let me also say, because they have no rules, they do what they like. There is no uniformity, and they've paid a price. You have so many millions are alcoholic, and if they are alcoholic, they are damaging themselves, their health, and they cannot have a stable family relationship. They cannot have a stable job. They create violence in society, and police get involved. Hospitals get engaged, and all these costs to the society is coming because they don't follow any rules. Even Bible rules they don't follow. So the rules are to protect us, not to restrict us. Think about it. What is haram? The sharab is haram. Everything, other drink is halal. Pig is haram. Other animals are halal. The ferocious animals of land and sea, like crocodiles, haram. So those that are harmful are haram. So therefore, it's only a few things that are haram. But you have, and the rules wise, you have certain things you must do because this is for our own protection. If we don't do like them, they suffer a lot. I mean, do you know that because of the rules of family and morality, Muslim families are much less vulnerable to the breakup than the non-Muslim families. The Christians are breaking up, and then they are living without marriage, and then they separate, and the children do not have parents. All these illnesses, all these sufferings, you have stable home, you have parents together, and you get both the love from mother and father. You will see majority of the criminals did not have what you have. So the rules are there for our protection and our enjoyment of life, our purity of life, our beauty of life, our happiness and peace in life, which they do not have. Do you know there are millions on tranquilizers because of mental health, because they don't have the rules and they don't follow the rules. So therefore, Allah gave us all those rules. In fact, the other prophets had rules, but they did not get recorded and for generations to follow. We have all the rules protected. The hadith, do you have any detailed hadith from any other prophet? You don't have. So that's why the rules are there for our protection. Think about an equipment. There are detailed rules of more complex equipment, more detailed rules, so that it can be properly used and it can be gained from. The benefit is enormous if you follow the rules properly. It's everywhere. There are laws, there are rules, which we have rules like we have mask rule, we have lockdown rule, we have all these kinds of distance rules and hand wash rules and hand sanitizer rules. Can you see, because of all these uncontrolled living, they have created more problems than they have solved. They have created atomic bombs. The Americans bombed Japan when they already surrendered, just to teach them a lesson and also test their atomic bomb. Muslims can never do that because that's haram. You don't kill innocent people. But they are Christians, but they ignored Bible's teachings and they kill people. And they go to other countries and kill people and say, sorry, they say drone attack. Everywhere they kill. I mean, all these things are because they make up their own rules. And when Allah makes rules, it is for everyone's just protection. When people make their rules, they make it to protect themselves. So all these rules that we need, those who follow the rules, they enjoy life more. They have a stable home. They have children in a secure family environment. All these, you can just compare. You go to Samaritans.org. Do you know that this Samaritans.org is a project where people who want to commit suicide, they want to protect them and talk them out of it. And they have 27,000 volunteers round the clock to receive telephone calls, which is free for people who are considering committing suicide. And they receive more than 4 million calls a year. More than 4 million calls a year. What kind of happy society have they become? Because they have no rules. The rules do not interact with each other. The rules are not shared. The rules are not fair. The rules are disjointed. They are not a coordinated set of rules. Everybody is doing what they like. And consequently, you have all the teenagers killing teenagers because they have not been brought up properly. So similar consequence will happen for us. They eat pork, and there are diseases associated with pork, including mental disease and character disease. This is according to British Medical Journal. So Allah has only forbidden pork and only forbidden alcohol. So it's not so restrictive, it is protective. This is the way to, otherwise, those who have gone away from these rules, go and check their lives, see how happy they are, or otherwise. They are not happy. They are in a very bad state. And we don't want any of us to be in that state. So this is why Allah, being very kind, sent detailed guidance as to how to live. In fact, some of the things, some of the rules, there are 3 categories of rules. One is we must follow and must not follow. So that's the most restrictive. One is obligatory duty, the other is prohibition. Second rule is you should leave and you should do. You should do and you should not do. Should do is sunnah, should not do is makruh. Then you have optional nafil, can do, and the other is you can avoid, meaning those who are borderline allowances, allowed items, if you avoid, you are safer. You don't cross the boundary. So these are also rules, but categories of rules, so that our life can become very happy, tranquil, blissful, and we have a nice life and nice death too. Okay, thank you very much.